serves fingers to the bone, suck the marrow, drain our soul. Pay your dues and your debts, pay your respects. Everybody tells me, pay for what you get. You pay for what you get. Everybody asks me how she's doing. Is she really lost her mind? I said I couldn't tell. I lost mine. Words, words, words. Have you heard the bird in hand is much better than any number free to wander. Fly away, stay. You pay for what you get. You pay for what you get. Everybody asks me how she's doing. Is she really all she says? Everybody asks me how she's doing since she went away. I said I couldn't tell you. I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay. Surprise, surprise. You pay for what you get. You pay for what you get. Everybody asks me how she's doing. Has she really lost her? Everybody asks me how she's doing since she went away. I said I couldn't tell you. I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay. Pay for what you get. Pay for what you get. Pay for what you get. Pay for what you get.
Wow, what a show! What a hey, they haven't had a Friday one night stander since Mansfield, and this is what they do. All right, let's cue the intro, man. Cue, I don't know what to say, man. I amazing. Cue the intro.
It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. Whew. It's your boy Conservist 34 and Raleigh, North Carolina. Hey, shout out to everyone out there in Wake County. Shout out to everyone out there in Durham, even though Duke sucks. We still got love for you down there. And we're gonna talk about the show. Greg says, now that's an encore. And listen, I don't care. I don't mind sharing encores from SPAC night 2. And what a show. Let's set the table here, because it's important to set the table of why this was a great show. Yes, Louisiana Bayou was played.
You what?
Yes, a cover started off this show.
You what?
Yes, we had what else did we have? We had no tour debut that was here.
Bruh.
But outside of those things, every other thing about this show was fire. Everything else about this show was amazing. Okay. And we're gonna try to get my boy Mark on. Let me try to send him this link now. He also sent the set list, right? Set list looked identical to what I saw. I put it up on Twitter, so check it out there. But you got to keep in mind the band has had an amazing run of Fridays with a epic 2-night stand, a destination venue 2-night stand for an entire month. An entire month, going back to June 24th, 2022, when I was in Deer Creek. Right? 4 weeks ago. From Deer Creek forward, every Friday night show was part of a 2-night stand. In the 4th of July weekend, you had a Saturday, Sunday at Alpine. Like, that is a lot of great stuff. So a month ago, you have Deer Creek weekend. The next week is Alpine weekend. The next week is SPAC weekend. The next week is Camden weekend. Now we get to Raleigh. A one-night stand, a one-hit-a-quitter show. And we get a show that just has so many things from Stone. We get it again and again. Maybe it's not your favorite, but even so, it's only been played 3 times. Just skip it. We get a You Never Know. We get a Rhyme and Reason with Joe Lawler coming out yet again. And it's been a treat to see him come out for some of these shows. And the encore Pay for What You Get, Too Much Fake in the Halloween is solid. So, what does it say? I feel bad for Buddy. He's a raise. He's hawking t-shirts to make ends meet. Actually, he's not. He's selling these t-shirts for $30. Okay. All right. So if he needed the money, it'd be a little bit cheaper, and he'd be trying to sell more of them. Listen, them shirts are $30, and listen, that means it's good quality. Okay. Oh yeah. Good thing DMB is playing more like the Jays and the Sox right now. Yeah. Yeah, for those of you guys who missed this, let me pull this up for you. I actually have a reel coming about this video. Stay tuned to Instagram. I had to delete it because I had a spelling error. Let me show you what's happening in baseball real quick. Okay.
Jansen crushes another one.
Oops. That's the wrong video because there's a bunch of grand slams. Here we go. This is almost like, hey, this is the equivalent of me trying to find a reason, trying to catch a reason on why not to go to a DMB show. Check this out, guys.
For the 3rd time, sends a drive to deep center, but where is it? It's way over the head of Duran, who never.
Yeah, he dropped it. So watch this. He keeps going.
He never saw it.
Oh.
Tapia around third, heading home. And
inside the park home run. Don't worry. Red Sox will be better next year. You'll probably win a World Series again. That's how the Red Sox. Listen, the fan base is spoiled, Greg. Didn't win a World Series for 86 years. Then they start winning World Series and they complain every other year when the team sucks. The next year, the team's back together again and they win a World Series. Ticket prices are more expensive than the Yankees right now. So they are the new Yankees. Anyway, let me try to let's get this. But this set list, let's zoom into it, right? For a one night stand after a bunch of banger weekends, this is incredible, right? And really, the only songs that really are 100% skippable are Louisiana Bayou, and I would say The Space Between. Personally, right? Some people like that song; it's a hit. Excuse me. I'm okay, guys. I'm good. I'm good, guys. I'm good. Yeah, let me get this to more copy. Trying to get this over to Mark so he can come on. Now, Hines was saying, and this is my thing, and some people, Hines, you're not the only one. Other people were saying this about the set list. They were saying, "Oh, Fool in the Rain opened the show. Oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. Like what?" Okay, Mark's still getting out of the concert, so we'll talk about this. I don't mind Fool in the Rain opening. It already opened the show a couple, earlier in the tour. But oh my gosh, Fool in the Rain opening a show. What? Oh my, this is a travesty. Listen, I went to Alpine. You know what they opened with? That Girl Is You.
Bruh.
I would rather hear Fool in the Rain than That Girl Is You. Okay? I'd rather hear Fool in the Rain. Listen, I'm not a fan of covers. And Alex knows, Alex Brandt, you were at Alpine. All right? We were at Alpine. That was a banger, okay? Fool in the Rain, when you're at the show, is a banger, okay? And I do not like covers. You guys know I don't like covers. This is the exception. This is the best cover that's in rotation right now for the band. There's other covers that I prefer over all of this. I'd rather have a Don't Fear the Reaper. I'd rather have a Neil Young cover, like Down by the River. Or maybe that one may be too long for the sake of getting bangers in a show. That may slow momentum down. But I love Neil Young. But I would say this song, Fool in the Rain, does not disrupt set lists. In Hines, I'll say listen to it with the. And here's the thing: open with your own song. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. Okay. It is not how you start; it is how you finish. Okay. And here's my thing: we go back to Alpine. They open up with That Girl Is You. I was not pleased. I'm like, bro, we had Alpine. Okay.
Bruh.
You what?
But when the set list kept going, we get a Granny, we get a Stone. And I was like, y'all tonight who don't like Fool in the Rain open. I said, listen. But That Girl Is You is a much lower. Like Fool in the Rain is actually a good song. That Girl Is You is 10 times worse as an opener. But I said the show started at Granny, right? And then they did Stone after that. But you know what? When I think about Alpine Night 2 this year, I don't think about the That Girl Is You opener. I think about the fact we had Granny, we had Stone, we had Dreaming Tree, all in the same show. Right? Break it down. You said 1 through 9 is rough. Stone isn't rough. Old Dirt Hill isn't rough. Bayou, I'll give you that's trash. Again and Again is actually a good song live, in my opinion. Rooftop, great song live. The Only Thing, and I know, Greg, you said, interesting, The Only Thing is back. It's been played 10 times this tour. It's already surpassed last year easily. Crush, I like Crush. Madman's Eyes, a solid banger. And again, I'm saying this, Hines, go to a show. Have you seen Madman's Eyes live? Have you seen Fool in the Rain live? They are great songs. And again, I don't like covers. Okay? I don't like covers. So 1 through 9, solid. Let's go to 10. Gravedigger. Only the third of the tour, and I like Gravedigger, the darkness of it, the song, the buildup of it. Oh, When the World Ends is another back. It's skipped New England twice. Oh, but although granted, it did get played at SPAC, and SPAC is technically right at the edge of New England. Yeah, I missed it last year, and it's missed New England last year and this year. I like the song. Some people think it's too wordy, but I like it. Okay, so I'll say When the World Ends and Bayou are your bathroom break songs. But then you have You Never Know, you have The Maker, So Damn Lucky, Rhyme and Reason, Space Between. You could go either way. I don't like it, but I know people do like it. It's not played frequently. Minarets? Are you kidding me? The fourth Minarets of the tour, and then Ants Marching. No, Madman's Eyes is not a poor man Minarets. Madman's Eyes is actually it's a darker Minarets. Now Minarets is a classic, but Madman's Eyes actually is dark because Minarets has this. Minarets actually transitions into a major key after the darkness of the minor kind of like Middle Eastern type vibes. It goes into a major. Madman's Eyes has that energy. Yeah, Madman's Eyes is more like Last Stop than Minarets. It punches, it pierces. You have the lightning strikes on the screen. Yeah, Madman's Eyes. Listen, Madman's Eyes is a great song, and I would rather have it than Minarets, in my opinion. In this current band's versions of Minarets, right? So you have a solid main set, and then your encore is the SPAC Night 2 encore, which is arguably the best encore of the year, just being played again. It's like the Bulls repeating a championship. You're going to be mad? Oh, no, they won again. I'm bored. No, if you're a Bulls fan, you're happy, right? The Bulls, and here's the thing about sports. People say they hate dynasties, but the ratings go up. The lowest rated playoffs for the NBA were like when the Spurs were playing. Yeah, Hines, I'm not going to talk. Listen, I already ranked it. I said, listen, the 1 through 9, the only bathroom break is Bayou. You could argue Old Dirt Hill, but even that's 2 of 9. You know how many shows have had a bunch of duds in the middle? It's been bad song, good song, bad song, good song. Listen, I've enjoyed every show. Don't get me wrong. I've danced to Can't Stop at a show. Yes, some of you guys are chasing. Yes, I get it. Minarets is definitely, and that's why it's special. It's a harder song to get in this current era. Back in the 90s, it was everywhere in certain tours, right? If it's not Some Devil two-step, we got to listen. I will take Halloween, and listen, we're just gonna have to, you're not gonna ever agree with me, but dark D&B is the best D&B. What You Are in Halloween. Now I know why people don't like Halloween. I get it, but Halloween or What You Are, I will take that easily over two-step any day of the week. Now the best two-step that's ever been played with Leroy Moore and Boyd Tinsley, there's always a case for that. But this band, in any version of the band, the darker D&B is the better D&B in my opinion. Right? Yeah. How many times they've played Some Devil in a two-step? Now, again, I will take that encore. I'm not going to complain about that encore. Right? Greg says he trademarked that line years ago. I'm going to check the registry. Yeah, Last Stop encore is great. But to me, the dark D&B is the best way to end the show and to begin the show. Yes, if this opens with the Stone, I'm giving this a higher rating than if it opens with Fool in the Rain. But Fool in the Rain is still a great open to a show. It's better than honestly, it's better than most DMB openers, right? What are you taking over Fool in the Rain? That realistically open shows, right? What songs are you taking over? So let's even look at that. Let's look at the summary. Let's even look at what's open shows here this year. Top openers, right? Now, I won't take Fool in the Rain over Pig. I won't take Fool in the Rain over Bartender. I won't take it over Recently or Boa. But Fool in the Rain, I'll take it to open over Warehouse, over 41, over One Sweet World. One Sweet World to me is overrated. It's a beautiful song, but it's overrated. I got it in Hartford as an opener. I was at the Rail. It's cool. But without that intro, now if it has that old school intro, that's it. But Fool in the Rain is different. That girl is, you would easily take Fool in the Rain over that. But I like that girl. I like Fool in the Rain, the energy of it opening a show, especially for the and that's the thing, is it gets the casual fan engaged. And me as a diehard fan who hates covers, I love it. So some of you guys aren't going to agree. This list is missing 41 Seek Up typical. But listen, let's go and let's talk about this too. Okay, first of all, and I love 41. Okay. Number 41 has lost its way, okay? It's lost its way. Now, at a show, I will sing this song with my heart. That's all 41 is good for. The actual verses now, the solo parts?
Bruh. What are you doing?
They have screwed up number 41 as far as the solo. Tim Reynolds is amazing. We don't need electric guitar on number 41 anymore.
Bruh.
We don't.
Nope. Nope.
We don't.
Nope.
I'm trying to test out some extra new effects here. Here, we'll add that to my favorites. Okay. We don't need no. Listen, the number 41 should have a sax solo. There is no excuse why number 41 does not have to have a sax solo. All right. Let's talk about Seek Up. Seek Up was phenomenal at SPAC in Camden. But we've already had, listen, Seek Up is not a fraction of what it used to be. No violin. Now listen, most songs I've moved on without the violin. Seek Up, it needs Leroy Moore and it needs a violin. This shouting match between, and it's not even Jeff, it's more Rashawn. Rashawn is the shouting match of Rashawn of, look it, I can play louder. No, I don't need that. And Seek Up takes up so much song time. And it's not, free my boy Jeff, okay? He's locked up, okay? He's locked up. We got to free my boy Jeff, okay?
Convict music.
Y'all got to free my boy Jeff, okay? Right? What else are we talking about? Typical Situation. I love Typical Situation. It's great. Yes, it would have made this better. I'm not saying this is the best set of the year. I'm saying this is a great set after a bevy of quality two-night stands on Fridays. A Bartender. Shows do not need a Bartender to be top show of the year. It's a great opener. I loved it at SPAC. Doesn't necessarily, listen, I would take a Big Eyed Fish over Bartender right now. Because it has, like, it's rarer. I like Big Eyed Fish over Bartender. In this era, now listen, the best Bartender, the Leroy Moore, just the first show after Leroy Moore passed, that's an emotional Bartender. But I'd rather have a Big Eyed Fish than that's just my opinion as far as what I wanted to show. Right? What else do we have in this list? Boa. Yes, obviously Boa is going to make it better, of course. But again, it's not about, like, listen, you could say those would have made it better. But a Stone, You never know. You say BOA, I say you never know. You say typical situation, I say rhyme and reason. I would much rather have a rhyme and reason than a typical situation. Why? Because rhyme and reason is played less than typical situation. This show gave you a couple of songs that hardly get played. Hey, Richard, hope you're doing well. Right. Even you say Big Eye Fish is top 3 as far as Hines. Right. Those old comfy song vibes. Listen, The Stone. They played The Stone. I don't care what's not played. You get The Stone. That's the thing, is it's just, there's no wrong way. It's like, okay, let's say I buy property in Vegas, right? In Las Vegas. And you're like, well, that's not property in Phoenix. That's not property in New York City. I don't care. I got prime real estate on the strip. I can walk to the strip from this apartment or from this house. There's many ways to make $1 million in this country. And that's how you have to look at these set lists. You get a Stone, and then you couple that with you never know. You couple that with a rhyme and reason. You couple that with the pay for what you get in the Halloween. Does the encore take away from SPAC Night 2 being? It doesn't to me, because this is such a special. They could play this encore 7 more times. SPAC Night 2, and this is the thing. The debut of some of this stuff is just as important as no matter how many times it's played after that. The first Fool in the Rain, Alex Brandt, if you're still on, right? You were there with me. That place went nuts. Even if you didn't like the song, that went nuts. I was at the first Rolling Stones little tribute matchup with Satisfaction. I think they did some interpolations of a couple other things, right? That was a banger. Look at my video. Like look at this. Let me just show you guys. And this is not that I'm like the best video recorder in the world. Look at some of my videos. Like check this out. We're going to take a look at my top viewed videos. We're going to sort this, right? Sort by most popular. Okay. Now, my most popular video is a rip of Gray Street in the 3rd verse. But look at this. My 4th top video ever is Fool in the Rain from Alpine. Now, I also have it at SPAC, but it's not even close. It's a couple of thousand, right? If we keep going down, right? And we see, so Fool in the Rain has 24,000 views. And again, the energy of that show versus if you watch my SPAC show, right? This was, look at that Fool in the Rain, 24,000 views. Again, I just happen to have my camera on. Y'all would have shot that. Y'all would have got 24,000 views too. But that's the point. My point is, that was the moment. They could play this 50 more times. That's fine. Look at this. Dave Matthews Band from Guilford, New Hampshire. 8.7 thousand views. Again, if you were in that seat, y'all probably would have shot this video better than me. This was one of the last videos I shot with a digital camera that was breaking. Not the best quality, 8,000 views. Right? You'll be hard pressed to find something like that. Again, this pay for what you get got 4.3K, and the Copper Pot version is about to rack up some views too. Right? So I say all that to say that it is, the first is always going to be the special. So it doesn't take away, in my opinion, because that the tour debut or the liberation of a song like Pay for What You Get is that's the one. And then, and even if it's played over and over, please play it over and over. I hope more people listen. That's what's also great about this tour. There's been a lot of break frees, and there's been a little bit of break for it. There's been some Dreaming Trees been played. Bethel got a Dreaming Tree, right? Atlanta got a Dreaming Tree. I love how Dreaming Tree is being played everywhere. Well, it's been played in every region of the tour. But again, the Stone, like I said, Alpine was mediocre. Alpine had some moments that I thought should have been better for Alpine. But see, Alpine has, what you guys got to realize is Alpine was solid because we got some great, again, we got a Stone. I believe we got a Drive In, Drive Out. Alpine is not what it used to be like 2015 or 2016 to the beginning of Alpine of 2016 as a whole category. 2017 to present is just, it kind of has gone down, but just overall. Okay. So Andrew says Down by the River and Time of the Season are great covers. Time of the Season is great. Down by the River is probably a great cover. I just think that song would drag on too long. I'm sure it's great. Like, listen, I would, if it was at a show, I'd be excited. The other thing I look at with these sets is certain songs can't be too long. It's going to ruin the momentum of the set, or it's going to take away from other songs being played. So, where Time of the Season, you get in and out, and it's a solid song. That's the other thing, is I don't like my covers to be too long. That's why Fool in the Rain is great. They get in, they get out, and they do it. There's nothing extra to it. But this set is very, I love it. So, and let me know if you guys hear a fan in the background. I had to turn this on. This set is so hot, it's burning up my house. Okay. But yeah, I think this is a great set. We can argue about a lot of different things, but to me, like I said, there's a million ways to get it. There's a million ways to get to a great set or a good set. And I think this is a good to great set for the circumstances. Yes, Burning Down the House in Time of the Season. They get to the point of the song. They do the song. Now, these songs are not 3-4 minutes. It's usually about 5-6 minutes, but it's pretty quick. I got bubbly, what is this? Bubbly blueberry pomegranate. Yeah, blueberry pomegranate. And then he says, also, whatever big song not played this year has a good shot at being played tomorrow. We'll see. I mean, the tour date, I consider this the first show where a tour debuted. I consider this the first show without a tour debut, because Bethel had the Star Spangled Banner. Okay. Andrew says we'll probably get a Stone opener at the Gorge. We'll see. So Greg says Time of the Season, Down by the River, and Maker, all great. DMB Vegas, all great. DMB Vegas 09 vibes. Okay. Oh yeah, I would love Beach Ball. Beach Ball would be great. Oh, excuse me. Beach Ball is a solid song. And some of the stuff they did during the big whiskey promotional tour of Beach Ball was amazing. And Steezy says, what are we missing this tour? I have West Palm Beach coming up after the break. It's the makeup shows from May. Yeah, that's funny. West Palm Beach was supposed to be early this year, and then the C-19 changed it. Alex says needs to grab a beer before Mark gets on. We need Sugar Will, Broken Things, Drunken Soldier, Hunger for the Great Light. I would say, yeah, Sugar Will, Drunken Soldier, and Broken Things are great. Hunger is a great song. I don't think we need it. We don't need Alligator Pie. I think it's a waste of time to bring that back. Not that it's not an okay song. I just, for what? That's a waste of practice time for the band. Dive In, absolutely. Alligator Pie doesn't do it for me. It's a unique song, and then he's got to get his resonator out. He's got to make sure it can be connected. It's too much. But I agree, Drunken Soldier. They played 5 covers / partials tonight. Kit Kat Jam, Last Top, JTR. Someone was yelling JTR during the Sirius XM joint. Someone says Shotgun needs to come back. Shotgun was just played. Listen, the thing with Shotgun is it's an incredibly hard song to execute from the band. And they did play it at Homedale. They played it, I think they played it 3 times this year. I mean, listen, I wanted Shotgun so bad this year. Didn't get it. But it would be nice if they continued it. So. What about Time Bomb? I think the thing with Time Bomb is I don't think it gets the crowd reaction. Like they played it. Didn't they play that at Charlotte? Where did they play Time Bomb at this year? All right, let's see what he says here. I use a +1, 0, -1 scoring system. This was a +6. Okay. I hope you guys do get a joyride at Fiddler's. I like Joyride. I don't think I've never heard it live. I would love to. And I think it's a good song. Yeah, I think Hines was saying, why hasn't Time Bomb been played more often? I have mixed feelings on Time Bomb. I actually love the lyrics, like no one would believe me except the flipping nut job. Like I love that. Although I think back in the Big Whiskey era, it was kind of overplayed. So there was fatigue on Time Bomb. Less is more. The less it's played, the more appeal it has. The same goes for Gaucho. When people want Gaucho back, I'm telling you, you hear Gaucho 2 times in a row and you'll be done. The first time it'll be kind of cool. After that, yeah. And I know someone just said Crazy Easy. Yeah, Crazy Easy's dope. Time Bomb is used as a 2-step. Yeah. But Time Bomb was also still played. That's what's interesting. Like, for instance, American Baby Intro is in Lying in the Hands of God. But at the same time, American Baby Intro has not made a comeback. Time Bomb has been used for 2-step, but Time Bomb has been used as part of a 2-step intro, but Time Bomb was actually played this year. Yeah, I would love Captain to come back. Greg says no Gaucho. Mercy, please. But we'll take them over come tomorrow. Yeah. Mercy was improved. There was a Europe. It was played in Europe recently. In 2019, I think it was one of the last Europe tour they had it once, and Buddy made it better. Dive In should come back in. It did. So Dive In came back. Technically, Dive In came back. I caught it in Hartford. It was also played in the fall tour a couple of times. Dive In does not get the crowd going, and I think that's what's interesting about it. Now, DMB plays a lot of songs where the crowd is confused and befuddled every night, right? But maybe that I think that's why it may be played sparingly because the crowd does not go for it. It gives them an energy break in the show. It's a beautiful song that still is awesome, but it's a couple notches down energy wise. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. This is case in point. The 14-15 minute Mercies, they were atrocious. They went nowhere. And I love long jams. I'm going to see a jam band Sunday called Fish. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. I love 20-minute jams, but the Mercy Jam went nowhere for 10 minutes. So Dreams of Our Fathers is a difficult song to play. I don't blame them for not playing that. Sleep to Dreamer, they did that would be a beautiful song to bring back. I think they played it a couple years ago. But there's just again, this band only has a capacity to play a certain number of songs on point. They're not Fish. They're not the Grateful Dead. They're not Mo. They're not Humphreys McGee. So they do have a smaller gas tank, right? They have a smaller gas tank than a Fish. That's just how it is. And to the band's credit, as much as there's a lot of songs I want back, the band is giving us some of the stuff we want back year over year. It's just only a couple each year. Greg says they could do more if they hung out more. I think so, but they just, I mean, listen, Buddy's got kids. Jeff has clinics and side things to make money. You have other, Dave is just going to always have his other stuff and he's going to go back, take the PJ back home. They're just past the point. They don't want to be in a studio all day hanging out. They love each other, but they tour and then they go back to their families. And that's the thing is when you're young, right? Think about when you were in college. If you ever went to college, you were college age. You can stay up all night, sleep a couple hours, and be good the next, you'd be good at 10 a.m., 12 a.m. next day. Once you start getting older, when you try to party and you're 30, or when some of you guys are 40 or 50, and you'll be out for 3 days. That's how the band is. I just don't think they're not motivated to hang out nonstop. Listen, they've had a lot of time together. And, who knows what happens because Dave's going to have, once his son graduates, if they're still playing, again, that may change it. But even so, I think, listen, this band, they've had so much touring that it's just hard to kind of get there. All right, we do have our guests ready to go. Our buddy Mark, who really covers these Dirty South shows. Okay, he's everywhere. He was in Deer Creek and he did some other shows. Well, but I want to get his take because he was at this show. Okay, some of y'all were not outside. Okay, Mark's outside, so let's bring in Mark. All right, Mark, how you doing?
Dude, fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. So tell us about this show. What did you think being there?
All-time DMB show right there. That's as good as it get DMB, just about. I mean, how can you complain about a show if I've gotten Dreaming Tree on the same tour? That's completely unheard of. The show was great. I mean, it started with looking at it on paper last week when they did it. I was like, might be a weird opener. No, it sounded great. Really good. Blew your phone up. I said, Marcus is going to want to hear about this. Stone was great. The energy, maybe in the middle of the set, a little dive, but I mean, finished strong. The encore really took me by surprise. Blast. I mean, they played You Never Know, Stone, just a lot of great songs. I love the show.
Awesome. And let's talk about that opener because we do have a little bit of a split in the chat. Some people say, and I think a lot of people who actually saw Fool in the Rain are saying, listen, I don't mind it opening the show. I don't like covers. First, before we even get to this, do you like take away Fool in the Rain? Do you like the idea of a cover opening up a DMB show in theory?
It just depends. Maybe not, but now that I've seen it, I thought it was absolutely great. So that song, he's dancing around. It's a very energetic opener, and I mean, I could have One Sweet World for the 20th time, for the 10th time open a show, or I could have Fool in the Rain, which is energetic. I've never seen it. A great song.
Okay, and that's kind of what I wanted to get at. So you're someone who prefers not to have a cover open a show, but being there again, guys. He was at the show. This is what this whole dang channel is about. He's at the show, and listen, you guys, if you guys don't know, Mark can be very, very aggressively chasing songs. He can be very critical, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But when he's saying that a Fool in the Rain opener is something that's great for the show, he didn't know he needed it. Now he's like, hey, it's a unique thing, and I got it. That says all we need to know. And so then you get a Stone after that. And that it's a good point. You said, listen, you could get how many of you guys, some of you guys, you OGs, right? Like Jen and Hines, you guys have been going since what, the big whiskey era, 29, 2010. You've probably seen 50 One Sweet Worlds. And that's one thing you guys need to pay attention. Like, you could have that. You could have That Girl Is You, like we had at Alpine. Or you can have a Fool in the Rain, which has high energy. And other thing, just to let you know, Mark, the other thing that people were saying was I would have rather had the show open up with Stone. My kind of disagreement with that is, listen, I love the Stone. I would love for it to open. But at the same time, you have the fact the Stone is played and the Stone is not played that often. It's the 5th of the tour. So you might as well just take the Stone wherever they're going to put it.
Dude, I'll take, yeah, exactly. I will take Stone wherever in the set they're going to play it. 1 through 20, where I'm happy to see the Stone, because modern day DMB, no matter how many shows you see, like you and I, and I'm glad that you got a few this year. Actually, you got at least 3. Is that right?
I think so. I got Hartford. Alpine. I think just 2. Hartford, Alpine. It wasn't that SPAC. It wasn't that Deer.
It's hard to get. Stone is not an easy song to get, and I will take it all the time. As we've been talking a million times, Stone is one of the best sounding DMB songs, whether it's DMB in general. Stone is a top tier song, and I love the Stone, and everybody loves the Stone. That's more so wherever in the set it is, I'll take it. I've never seen it in the 2 spot. I thought that was absolutely great. Rose set the tone for a great show.
Yeah. And for those of you guys who don't know, the Stone is to me, probably the most demanding song to play, not from a you have to play 50 million notes, but the actual pattern that it really burns your left hand. And then your right hand kind of gets fatigued just from trying to play it exactly how you're supposed to do it on point. So he's to start out with a Fool in the Rain, it kind of gets Dave a little bit of guitar play to warm him up, and then he gets into the Stone. And that's the other reason why a Stone opener is so rare too. I have played the Stone not even singing, and 75% through, I have to just stop playing because my hand is literally fatigued. So that's another key thing. Now, I want to ask you, Mark, you've been to a lot of different crowds this year, from Deer Creek to all the Southern shows. What was the crowd like in person in Raleigh compared to some of the other shows you went to?
So Raleigh last year had, because everybody flew in for Raleigh, so that was cool. But Raleigh this year was just an overall good DMB crowd. Deer Creek's the best I've ever seen for Dave, but I've never been to SPAC, so I can't say Deer Creek's scene and the loudest. But Raleigh was good. I was in the pit, and sometimes it's just so I was around a lot of cool people at the show. The pit was blowing up where I was at. I thought people, there was a lot of room down there. It wasn't oversold, which is good. I like that a lot. Just like Charlotte, good crowd, not exceptionally loud or anything, but I was just around some good people, so that also contributes.
Gotcha. We got some crazy takes here. Hines is still saying, "I'd rather have Sweet open than Fool in the Rain." Hold on, let me turn my.
Sweet open. No.
I'm turning the buzzer on for that one. Okay, I love Sweet, but
What are you doing? Nope.
oh no, that's the wrong one.
Nope.
Where's the buzzer? Okay, let me. All right, there we go. The buzzer is done. No, please. And then Thomas makes a good point. Your boy Tom. He says, "I'd rather have a cover open than That Girl Is You." I agree 100% with that.
Yeah, spot on by Thomas right there. Absolutely.
So,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, what were we gonna say next?
I don't know if you saw it or not. In 2012 show, and a week later they're getting ready to play SPAC in 2012, and done by some press and somewhere in New England was doing an interview, and it came up near the end of the interview that it was, they were like, "What do you think for the set list and all this stuff?" And Stefan ran it down, but then at the very end he made a very funny when he saw Sweet on the set list to open the show. Stefan told Dave the opening song that it was not high energy enough, and he didn't like it. And I thought that was very interesting. That there's a thread on Ants somewhere that was interesting. And I like Sweet a lot, and the new version's great, but that's not a good opening song at all. I mean, open again.
Yeah. And to me, I'd rather them. It's more of a travesty when they close with Watchtower than if they were to open with a cover. I think you ending the night on a Too Much in the Halloween or anything DMB is better than most covers. So we're gonna.
I've never seen an encore as good as that. Probably that probably could be the best day of. I don't go usually to the huge shows like Deer Creek and Gorge are the biggest two I've been to. I need to hit SPAC and see Halloween at shows I go to. Halloween doesn't get played at the venues I see it. That's the first time I've ever seen it. So for them to pull something like that out in Raleigh, that's really a special deal.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's the testament to this tour. We had a bunch of big weekends, and you didn't get the Stone at SPAC. You never know at SPAC. Those are two songs that Raleigh fans will walk away with. And if you're a SPAC fan, if you went to SPAC and you're from Raleigh or you're from the South, and you go to SPAC and then you decide to go Raleigh, Virginia Beach, you just got a couple of songs that they didn't play at SPAC. And that's the testament of the tour. We did this earlier this week with Darien Lake. They got Dreaming Tree. SPAC didn't get it. They got another song. Can't remember. They got another song that wasn't played at SPAC. That was it. Pig. I think it was Pig. Yeah, they opened with Pig. So you go to not Darien, Bethel, New York. You go to Bethel, New York. You get a Pig opener, and before you get to the seventh song, you already have a Dreaming Tree. The sun was still going, like the sun was still up, and you got Dreaming Tree and Pig. Two bangers that were not at SPAC, and SPAC is, just up 87, or it's a couple hours north of Bethel. So I think that the biggest thing with this tour is if you hit a 2-night stand like SPAC or Camden, and then you hit a couple of one-nighters, you're gonna get a bunch of like unique songs.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the variety just from the last two shows I saw a month ago at Deer. I mean, just look at tonight versus Deer Creek. That's vastly different shows. Even though we did get Ryman, absolutely awesome, and it was even better to me than the Deer Creek one, which I loved that one too. But Ryman Reason, I thought that was really cool to see that.
Absolutely, and I love Joe Lawler's guitar tone. We saw it. You were there, Deer Creek. and now you see it again with this Rhyme and Reason. You get this was your second one of the tour, correct?
Yep, but also I got the only one in 2021 last year in West Palm, but I saw it once in 2010, once last year, and then the two this year. I mean, it's not a very easy song to get.
Right. And that was my thing is we're playing, people were saying what could have been, and they brought up Boa, they brought up Seek Up, and then they brought up Typical Situation. I said, listen, Typical Situation is great, but I'd rather have Rhyme and Reason because of the rarity. I've seen Typical Situation. Some people, like, just like we are in different parts of the country. You've seen Shotgun. I haven't. In Typical Situation, some people have never seen it, and it's played 4 times a year, but 2 of those times are up in the Northeast in New York City. So it's like, but I've seen Typical Situation. If I'm going to a show, I want Rhyme and Reason, because I've gotten a bunch of Typical Situations in Streaks of Luck. And I think that's when you compare this. I said this before you came on too. There's tons of ways to become a millionaire. There's not one way. And when you tally up Stone, when you tally up Madman's Eyes, You Never Know, Rhyme and Reason, the encore, and then this is the other thing we need to talk about. This show does not have Can't Stop, and it does not have Jimmy thing. There's been one Jimmy thing since July 4th, and that one Jimmy thing had a guest who people said was awesome.
That's great. I play the good sounds for that, because as cool as Jimmy thing is, it's played a lot, and I think shows to cross songs off at the end of the day. Although I can appreciate when DMB brings it down, Nancy's Warehouse, all the standard stuff, I can jam that no problem. But when they bring out the rare stuff, I mean, pay for what you get. That probably made the whole trip for a lot of people that came to the show. A newer DMB fan, you most likely haven't seen that song unless you saw a lot of DMB 2 sets. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff to take away from the show that's great. A lot of deep cut stuff, and a highlight of the end of this leg of the tour.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got Virginia Beach tomorrow, and so that's about 3 hours. 3 hours from Raleigh. I know that because I have family in Virginia Beach and in Raleigh, so I know that trek there. Any other thoughts as far as the crowd, the environment, the band? Anything you notice on stage tonight as far as chemistry? Any flops? It sounded like Halloween was a little bit rough.
Could have been. I was losing my mind in the pit because I never see Halloween. A few notes that you may not have observed unless you watch Couch Tour. Very. First thing was some stuff broke. Stage around. Let's see, around Crush maybe. A tech came out about over towards Buddy and was telling Dave something that maybe something right in the middle of the song. They were replacing a bunch of several of the crates behind him. They had like 4 or 5 pages, and then Craig in between songs was like messing with the stuff. Heat. It could have just been the heat had something to do with it. It did not affect any of the songs. Dave told him, or it could have been the stage manager. I don't know who it was. Dave saw it, he nodded when the guy was pointing it out, but they replaced some stuff. Thought that was interesting. I've never seen that happen a few times, but didn't affect the show, so not a big deal. And then the second thing was, if this photo.
You're talking the setlist photo?
Yeah, text.
Yeah, I put it up on Twitter. Let me pull that up here.
Okay, so what happened, there was a girl behind us in the pit who had 3 mini signs, and she held the sign, and it is essentially like either my dad just died or my dad is dying, and his favorite. And I think it was right after You Never Know. And so what happened was the pit was so crazy people. It was just super hot. Everyone was nice. So they let the girl all the way up to the front row right when You Never Know was ending. And so she held the 3 signs up, and I don't know what happened after that because he was facing Carter. And then they started the Maker. Sign said, can you play the Maker? And then right when Maker started, Dave looked at her and smiled and nodded at her. And so that's why Maker got moved up in the set list from where it is on the printed set.
Oh, so it was after You Never Know. Oh, yeah.
It got moved up.
Or it looks like, yeah, I didn't even notice that. Okay, because I looked at the set list, it looked the same. Okay, so he moved it up for someone who appears their father passed.
Yeah, there's signs all the time at Dave, although tonight that I saw it all, and it was literally the sea got parted and she just rolled right up to the rail with it and let her hold the signs up right in front of Dave, and Dave clearly saw it, and he said to the band, because you can't see him when he turned around, but the second they started Maker, if you watch the couch tour, he turned around and smiled and nodded at her for a good few seconds, and everybody in the pit was everyone was oh my God, he really did it. And now after the show, you can see it's actually on the set list, but it was cool that they.
Yeah, the other thing about this set list, when I was at SPAC, it said solo for the E1. And then it did have that Too Much Fake in the Halloween. No, they had we had Too Much. Yeah, that's what it was. So it's interesting that it seems like they've been doing this solo thing recently. I don't know if it's to get people so people aren't surprised, or if it's for Dave to truly pick any song he wants. I don't know. Because the full band came out, like they said solo, and the full band comes out at SPAC. So I think it's maybe something to keep people quiet, and to give the band an opportunity to switch to Audible, to Peyton Manning at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, could be. Maybe Dave doesn't know what he wants to play, or like you said, could be that. I really don't know. SPAC, they probably play the rarest stuff at SPAC, so obviously something happened backstage where they were all right, that shocked the heck out of everybody. Maybe writing the set tonight, he was all right, let's repeat that encore. It's about why would they play this encore here? And I'm DMB repeats on that's just part of being a DMB fan. If you go to a bunch of shows, you're gonna see Shake Me Close. Their encores are not unique to every single show they back. I was there is a chance that Halloween could come back out this year, and it probably will, just like when it popped back up at MSG. That, those are things that DMB does. So criticizing that, it's such a quality encore and such a great mashup of songs down there that why would you not want them to do that as many times as possible?
Yeah, and to me, that the pay for what you get, it sounded like they were practicing that. I don't know what you thought about tonight, but when I heard it at SPAC, it sounded like they had been practicing that. The sax was phenomenal. Tim and his little medleys, his little riffs and things subtly in the mix. It didn't seem like, because you could tell like the shotgun, the first shotgun, I think you were there for Austin, it sounded rough, right? And again, when I say rough, I'm not saying I don't want. I would love for any of these songs, Halloween, Shotgun. I'd love to have them, even if Dave was struggling. I just want the song. But it sounds like some of these rarities have a little bit of hiccups. But pay for what you get, which is a mind for people who don't play the guitar. It's messing with your mind because you're doing something in habit for one time around, and then you have to switch it around. You're holding a note for a couple of times, and you go into the chorus. So it's da da da. Then you got to switch for the chorus. So there's a lot of different things. It is hard to execute for everyone, but they've mastered. Pay for What You Get sounds great. Halloween sounded rough in the sense Buddy's violin synth, it played, I don't know if you noticed this, it played the Halloween part right away. It didn't go into like when they were trying to do Billy's, he kind of played that. And now he could have been trying to add a synth to synth violin to I mean, not Billy's, to Too Much. Maybe he was trying, but it sounded like he was testing out his sound for the actual Halloween part as they started Too Much. I'm sorry, not Tripping Billy's, Too Much. And and then some of the stuff like Dave's voice and like some of the transitions, Dave was like not in sync with the band, but it doesn't matter. And that's what makes these songs are so great. The dark and heavy stuff, even when it's off a little bit, you never know. I've seen Dave butcher it. Like he's butchered the timing and it still sounds amazing. Halloween Tonight from the Sirius XM stream sounded like there were parts where Dave was a little off from the band, but it just organically sounds great. And like I said, I can understand that there's a musical mistake or a musical hiccup, but these songs compensate for any sort of musical error, and it's a great time.
100% agree. Would much rather have a butcher. Insert song here that I've never seen or 1 millionth performance of whatever, and that's just us for the hardcore fans. Like the casual fans don't feel like mine, but those of us who see the big venue shows routinely and I'll take any version of it that they want to play.
Right. And Matt Souden is saying in the chat, yeah, Dave and Carter, there was a mess up in Pig in 2019. I was there too in Mansfield, but like it was cool. It was cool. Like I think Carter hit something too quickly, or it skipped to a part, and it still sounded cool. And when Dave messes up stuff, it sounds better sometimes in the perfect version. So I know you're going to Virginia. Any expectations for Virginia tomorrow for down there in the Tidewater portion of Virginia? Hello, Mark. Are you there? I think we may have lost. We're losing you. Yeah, you're at red. Oh, you're back.
You could see a great show like tonight and set your expectations. But to see big whatever. Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, we lost you. What do you think? What are your expectations for tomorrow?
So expectations after seeing a show like this, but I'll keep them pretty tame. I'd like to see Big Eyed Fish Bartender. That's hard to, I'd like to see O. Besides that, your song What You Are, I have not seen that. You Are. I've never seen Fool to Think. There's just a lot of stuff that came out this second part of this tour that haven't seen in a long time. I would like to see stuff like that. Whatever they want to throw me, I'll be happy with. The first show of the tour without a tour debut, and that streak just ended now. Last year it got to shows in a row with a tour debut. Virginia Beach was the first one without it. This tour hit 30. They're not doing them anymore, which is fine because they've got some really rare stuff in the shows. And so What You Are would probably be the one that I need tomorrow. Bartender maybe, but what happens?
Yeah. And there's obviously that debate. Like I consider Bethel to have a tour debut in the Star Spangled Banner partial. Obviously the listing, the reporting from Ants Marching is that that doesn't count. But I truly think tonight's the first. But either show, what's interesting is the last two shows, you could argue either one did not have a tour debut. And they both had special moments, from A Dreaming Tree and Pig to start off in your first six to tonight. You have a Stone and Dirt Hill back to back, a Fool in the Rain opener. And then, the second Fool in the Rain opener ever. You Never Know's in there. And then, like, You Never Know on Rhyme and Reason. That's all I need at the end of a set. And then there's no misses. I think and again, I know I keep repeating this, what's not played is just as important, if not more important, than what's played. You can make a case that SPAC Night 2 had that debut of Pay for What You Get. It had a bartender. But but it still had a bunch of dud stuff from 2 to 4. So this show doesn't have a run that's as abysmal as that 2 to 4 in SPAC.
Right.
Now, whatever you want to pick, that's up to you. But a show like this has limited skips, and I think we're seeing more of that. I saw it with Guilford Night 2. Same thing. There was no real skip, maybe one skip. It's been a
That
great
might be
tour.
the best set list of the year. Seriously, that was really something. Like, that might be the best one.
Yeah, Guilford Night 2 it just had a lot of stuff go right, and there weren't any wrong turns there. All right, well, hey, I want to thank you for being on, Mark. I called you Mike. Mark, thank you for being on, Mark. I'm getting tired, but thank you for being on. We will see you tomorrow. Safe travels.
See you then.
All right, so thank you to Mark. I think again we appreciate him because he's on the road. The connection, obviously, there were some little times we couldn't hear him, but we were able to push through. Oops, I'll switch this back. Sometimes I like having one of these out so I can hear what's going on outside. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a bubble with the headphone on. So yeah, I mean, this has been a great tour, and this is a great show again for a one night stand. And what else is going on? I did have a stream. If you missed it, I had a stream about Sound on Sound. I don't want to talk too much about that, but you guys can check out that stream for Sound on Sound. Some issues I had with that reveal of the map. I'll be on again tomorrow or today, July 23rd. I'll be on Sunday again. I want to let you guys know again, Sunday I'll be doing a Fish Noob post-show stream after the Hartford show and Hartford is a Sunday show. Matt, you missed it. We showed the video of the Red Sox dropping the ball. But here's the thing, Matt. Here's the thing about the Red Sox. You guys are such spoiled babies now. Now, I'm not saying you, Matt, because you're realistic, but essentially what happens with the Red Sox is they're really good for a year, and then they're really bad for a year, and they're really good and they're really bad. This is the really bad year. The Yankees just happen to be really good this year. Usually we're not this good. So you guys are collapsing, but in a year or two from now, you guys will be better again, and then maybe you're going to collapse again. Red Sox have a much better, and listen, I know it's a competitive winner get fired market, which pushes the innovation for the GMs to get a better team because they're going to get fired. People know they're going to get fired. You guys, a lot of people have been ousted from the Red Sox because they didn't have a back-to-back good years. But with the Red Sox, you guys still have championships and success. So even if this is a bad stretch, there's much worse fan bases, or there's been fan bases that have been through a lot worse. So I don't really feel bad. Obviously, I'm a Yankees fan, but just taking my bias of being a Yankees fan out of it, it's like, listen, you guys win every couple years. You guys in the World Series every couple years. So whatever. It is what it is. What else is going on? So the other thing is, Justin says the Diamondbacks are always bad. Yeah. What was I going to say? The other thing is, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, Matt, I'll see you at Fish in Hartford. I look forward to that. Oh, you know what is going on? You have Bruce Springsteen. There are some complaints about Bruce Springsteen and some of the ticket pricing for Bruce Springsteen. Apparently, it's a lot of money. Like there's a lot of platinum tickets and all that. You know, one thing I am grateful about, even though again I was not a fan of the price hikes for DMB. As tough it is for DMB, it could be much worse. They did the verified fan process. A lot of fans were locked out of the verified fan process. Bruce Springsteen is doing a tour next year. He announces US dates, and I mean it's like Paul McCartney, right? Like if you guys don't know, Paul McCartney ticket prices are extremely expensive. And Bruce Springsteen is another nostalgic. Obviously, Paul is just higher. He's a Beatle, and Paul McCartney had a lot of success outside of the Beatles after them. Obviously, the Beatles is his best stuff, like his best, charting stuff, but he still had stuff with Wings in his solo career. So Paul McCartney's an expensive act, right? And Bruce Springsteen is, again, he's in that realm of just you paying a lot of money. The Stones, Bruce Springsteen, Paul McCartney, you're going to be paying a lot of money to get a seat. So it's hard. I understand the frustration. Some people have been seeing Springsteen for 30, 40 years. And Matt brings out Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam's another example. At this point, you have if you have the money and you can justify it, go to a show. If you can't justify it, even if you have the money, don't go. If you don't have the money, obviously don't go. I'm all about buying the tickets last minute because you never know, but you also have to be smart with your money. I think the biggest thing, and I'm not an economic expert, but the biggest thing is that I've noticed over the last year, you have to have twice as much in your savings to take these economic hits of the gas and the food. Listen, gas prices have gone down, but the food prices aren't going down. They refuse to go down. Right? So save your money. If you have the extra money, listen, Dave and Tim are in Mexico. That's another thing that happened. Dave and Tim have announced the Mexico weekend. Now we had one of our tapers tell us this already, that it was going to be President's Day weekend, and he was right. February 17th through the 19th, it's going to be here. So let's take a look at that. Oh, I got the wrong. I have two Twitter pages up. One's on this screen, one's on that screen. If you can afford it, you can afford it. If you can't, you can't. And I get the frustration because Dave and Tim, to be fair, Dave and Tim do not have a lot of shows in. They do not have a lot of shows in the States, and if they do, it's a festival like I'm seeing. So Jen saying to gargle water with lemon. I think, yeah, I'll have some tea. If it's still something's wrong in the morning, I'll have tea. But yeah, Dave and Tim in Mexico, it's a $5,000 trip. Now the rooms start off at about $2,200. It was like 18, 17, 18. You could get the cheapest. No, per person. The cheapest per person used to be like 1,700, 1,800. Now it's 2,200. Listen, I get it. I can't afford this trip. I said, listen, the only way I could go on this trip, I'm not saying you have to do this, guys, but if someone would have to sponsor me. By sponsor, I mean you would have to, if you want Concert Viz 34 concert content from Mexico that bad, you would have to pay for some of my trip. Otherwise, your boy is doing the streaming from here. Okay, I don't need it, but if someone wants to do, I'm not going to say no. If someone's going to give me money to go and say, hey, we want Concert Viz on scene, right? I'll go. That's really all I can do. But some of you guys have the money. Listen, some of y'all got 5 racks. Y'all work hard for your money. It's America. It's capitalism. I'm not knocking you if you got it. And if you have the money, this is a great trip from what I hear. And I'm talking people who don't just hype up stuff for nothing. I'm talking people who have already traveled the country and done a lot of big events. And they say Dave and Tim in Mexico is awesome. Tony C is calling he's going to be in Mexico. Okay, we'll mark that down. Remember where you heard it first, all right? Tony C said he's going to come back in Mexico. And that's the other thing is Mexico does have a bunch of crazy Dave solo, a bunch of tour debuts and liberations, and they're not translating to the DMB sets. So there is that frustration for people who can't afford this trip and want to hear these special songs. I understand that, but listen, it is what it is. Okay. We all have life, and listen, the fact we have life is important. May not be exactly where you want to be financially, but don't go into debt going to Riviera Maya. You know, especially again with this, there is less room in this world for you to make mistakes and still stay afloat. You have to have your money righter than right, that it's so right it's left. That's how crazy it is now, like with all these price hikes and stuff. If you can't handle emergency expenses on your car, a medical bill, like you're done. And I empathize with people who have these struggles because it easily could have been me. But by the grace of God, I'm here without that hardship. But I know it's a tough time right now in this country with this economy. You have people working extremely hard and they can barely make ends meet. And you could talk about, oh, Europe has more inflation, all this stuff. Yeah, you could talk about that, but it doesn't negate the fact people are struggling in this country. Struggling to literally buy a house in California. Have some people are living in their cars in California because it's so expensive to rent somewhere. So I empathize with what's going on. But if you have the money, go. That's all I'm going to say. Should be a great event. Should sell out. I mean, again, the other thing you can't knock Dave and Tim in Mexico about is this thing sells out. So they're going to pinch some pennies. Right. And I am glad the band is still playing. I'm going to give my critiques and as I see fit. But I am grateful. And listen, we just talked, the last show was about two people who left this earth too soon, right? I am happy they're still playing. And I hope for their health and wellness more than I hope for certain stuff to happen. If they need to take a tour off because Carter's fatigued, Dave has mental health issues, Jeff's going through an issue with his wife, I would want them to take the time off. I will tell them, yeah, take the time off. But I mean, listen, the consolation prize, if you don't have 5,000, you have 1,000 to spend on vacation and you live close to the gorge, go. Right? The other key thing is you guys want to get these hotels reserved a year in advance with free cancellation. That'll help your trips. And even if you get the weekend wrong, then you just cancel it. If you get more intel about a certain weekend for a certain show, then you can kind of put a request in with free cancellation. So that's going to do it for tonight. I need to get some sleep. I'm exhausted. Your boy did vacation Bible camp today and worked my regular 9 to 5 and played hockey this morning. So I've been doing a lot. I should close with Little Thing, one of my favorites. I actually have a video I could close with. It's actually me playing. It's a show open Little Thing, but we can play it as a closer. We'll close with this. Thank you, guys. I'll be on tomorrow. Ignore the thing that says show starts in 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 5 minutes. This is a video I made to start off stuff. This is your boy Conserviz34 playing Little Thing, jamming out. I love this song.